I'm Jessa. I work for Inc. Realty Group. I'm a realtor. I have a lovely husband, Aaron, who is a small business owner in town. He owns Garage Tees. My daughter, Sophia, she's 14. She goes to school at Hellgate. And I have a son, 3, Peter, and our dog, Gladys, and our cat, Alan. My favorite thing, being a mom, that's always what I wanted to be. In 4th grade, when we had to write our essay about what you want to be when you grow up, I wrote about being a mom. I came to live at the Gold Dust because years ago I had been living with a friend. My daughter was really little. She was about 3. We had been living in a house that was full of mold, and we didn't know that. But I had been really sick for a really long time. And we couldn't figure out what was going on. And one day my roommate and I came home from work, and there had been a hot water leak, and the steam had bloomed all of the mold in our house, and everything was just covered. And so I didn't really know what to do. I had to move out. My roommate and friend at the time wasn't able to move with us, and it's really difficult to find affordable housing when you're living single mom. You don't have anyone to share the expenses with. And you have to be really careful about who you invite into your home and into your space. And so a friend of mine was living at the Gold Dust at the time, another single mom, and she told me about it. And so I went and asked about it. There happened to be an apartment coming up available, so I went through the application process and I went through the interview process, and thankfully we were able to move in. And really, as soon as I did, my health 100% improved. Living in the Gold Dust was really an amazing experience for me. It was a very positive move. For the first time in, I don't know, probably ever, I felt like I was in a safe place, a healthy place, a place where I could really feel comfortable with my neighbors and feel like I could rely on them. We were all kind of in the same boat. It was fortunate that a lot of our kids were the same age, and so they could run around, and it felt really good to be able to say, like, yeah, you can go outside and play, and not feel like, something terrible was going to happen because the yard was really unsafe or the house was really unsafe. And living in the Gold Dust was what made it possible for me to go back to school, because I could afford to pay my rent and still be able to go to classes. It was really an empowering experience to be with all of these people who were really trying to work on making good choices and living in a more successful life. I think that because we were all kind of in the same situation, it made it easier to feel okay and to take the steps to move forward. I think it is very empowering for people to use that as a stepping stone, to say, I'm gonna go from this place that's not very affordable and really not very safe, stable housing in safe, stable communities, and be able to go to a nice place where it feels good to be home. It feels like you're providing for your family, and because of that, it builds people up, and that's what makes people able to take those steps, take those risks, because they have a solid ground under their feet, whereas before it may have been too shaky to be able to feel confident in taking those risks. Life is great, and I actually really believe it has a lot to do with the time I spent at the Gold Dust, because it was really a confidence builder. I had mentioned that I was able to go to school because I could afford to, because I was living there, and that led to so many more opportunities and open doors for me. And because of that, I was able to be more successful professionally, which led to us, being able to afford a house of our own. And I really don't think that that would have been as achievable as it was had Homeword not been there for me when I really needed it.